Hello, this video is by Rapid Network Solutions, and today we're going to show you how the trixbox server works with the Cisco IP phones. For right now, we're going to show you how to make internal phone calls. This can be done whether you're in one side of the office to another office within your building, or if you have another trixbox server with other IP phones in another office that might be in another city, you can also accomplish the same thing. Let's say that this is user 1, user 2, and user 3. If you wanted to call user 2 from user 1, basically you press the speakerphone or pick up the phone, whatever you like to do. You do this, dial their extension. We're doing 202. You're going to hit dial, and as you can see, user 2 phone is ringing right now, and you can just simply pick up the phone or connect through speakerphones. Now these phones are talking to each other. Okay, you can hang up. Let's say you wanted to call user 2 from user 3, same thing. Pick up the phone or speakerphone, whatever's easier, and dial. As you can see, now user 3 is ringing, and you can pick up the phone as well or hang up. As I mentioned before, you can also dial extensions that are in your other office. For example, let's say you're in City 1 and your other office in City 2, you'll be able to do the same thing. You would dial the extension of the person you needed to call, and that phone would ring in another office. Once another trixbox is configured, and you can save money by calling inner offices by extensions, because all those minutes will be absolutely free. Now I'm going to show you that you can also make external phone calls with the server. Gonna use cell phone here. We're gonna call it. Okay, as you can see, this phone will start ringing right now. Okay, it's making an outside call to an outside cell phone. As you can see, the cell phone is ringing. You can just answer the phone or hang up, whichever you want to do. And that shows you that any of these phones, you can also pick up another phone. Let's say this is another office, same thing. Okay, you can dial out. As you can see, the phone is ringing. And you see my cell phone ringing from the other phone. What this does, it allows you to have one primary phone if you would like for any of your phones. You can have 30 phones, 50 phones, meaning 50 employees making outside calls, and your primary caller ID will be the same if you choose it to be the same. So that way, when people call back, you will get the incoming call to come in, and you can either configure the phones so that all phones can ring at the same time, or you can configure them where you can have your sales ring first if you want. You can have your technical support or any other branch or any other office to ring second. Whichever way you want to configure the phones, they'll be configured to ring at any way that you want. Right now, I have them to ring all at the same time. I am placing a call right now, as you can see. It's gonna call my office, and the phones are gonna ring. As you can see, this one is ringing. Okay, this one is ringing, and so is this one, because I have them configured to ring all at the same time. meaning I want all my employees to be able to pick up the phone, and whoever picks up the phone, the call will be routed to them and nobody else can pick up that line. Okay, I'm going to show you how easy it is to transfer calls once they first come in. Any of your employees can answer the phone. Once the phone rings, employee will pick up the line as so. Okay, and let's say that this person wants to speak with user number 2. So you'll there's some options here on the phone. You go more, transfer, 202, dial. This phone rings. Okay, you pick up the phone, and then you say, hey, you have Joe Smith on line 1. Would you like to take the call? You can either send it to voicemail if you don't want to speak with that particular person, or you can say, yes, I would like to speak with that person, and your caller would transfer the call by doing this. They hit transfer. Now this caller is off the line, and now you are connected with the caller that called from the outside source. Same thing, let's say you're done calling with this person, and they need to speak with someone in charge. There's a problem. You say, sure, no problem. Same thing, more, transfer. You dial 203, which is the manager. Let's say as an example, dial. Now, as you can tell, number 3 is ringing. Same thing, they pick up the phone. You transfer. Now, this person is talking to the original person on the phone. That's how it is simple it is to transfer between calls that come in from an outside source. Calls can be transferred automatically to different extensions. They could be transferred to voicemails. They could be transferred to outside offices. They can be transferred to cell phones that you have people in the field, and I'm going to show you that in the next step. Okay, now I'm going to show you the best part of the system. This is how 99% of all users interact with the system. As you can see right now, I have my Outlook open at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how the entire system integrates with your computer. Here, like I said, we have Outlook open. I have one contact, and I have the system up and running up here on top. Let's say that you have your contact. You have one of your clients. You open them up, okay, and you say you want to call them. You would have your notes down here before you call. They say that they're a big Lakers fan or whatever it may be. You have a lot of notes before you would call your client or your personnel, whoever you needed to call. Okay, plain and simple. You hit the call button up here, okay, and then it'll ask you to dial. It says start the call. So what it's going to do is it's going to ring your phone. Let me lower the volume for a second. Your phone's going to ring, and all you have to do is pick it up, either speakerphone or headset, and it'll automatically start ringing to the outside source, the phone that you call. It'll show you down here who you're calling, and once it makes a connection, outside source will ring. That's how easy it is to integrate it with your PC. Really simple. Okay, say you want to end the call, plain and simple, ended the call. You can hang up, and you talk to the client, you want to call another client, not a problem, you do the same thing. Now, I'm going to show you how everything that I showed you previously on the phone can be done with the operating system here. Normally we have it in micro mode, which is up here. It's real small. Anytime somebody calls, this will display in their caller ID. So let me make a call right now so you can see how this would work. Let's say you're working, okay, phones are gonna ring, okay, that's gonna ring, and down here it'll show you who's calling you. It'll give you the phone number. You can sync it with your contacts from Outlook, so you can see exactly who's calling you, and you can either pick up the phone call or send it a voicemail. And I'm going to show you how simple that's going to be. Okay, I'm going to show you first how you can call users with this system without picking up the phone. You are always going to be up here. This is you, this is user 2, and this is user 3. Basically, let's say you wanted to call user 2. Okay, you just double click on the blue area. Okay, your phone rings and immediately connects you to user 2. Now he picks up the phone, you guys are talking. It'll show you here in the system you are talking to this user right here. Both of you become unavailable, so nobody can disturb you because you're having a conference call between each other. Once you hang up, okay, you see immediately your extension becomes available. And anyone in the system, you can have user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And just for recording purposes, this can be any name. It could be your John Smith, Jane Smith, Tom Smith, whatever it may be, people that work in your office. That's how the system will integrate itself. So it'll show you that John Smith is talking to Jane Smith. It'll show you how long have they been on the phone. It'll give you a lot of information. Now, let me show you how the system would work once you use the operating system on the computer. Okay, I'm going to call our phone again. Okay, phone's going to ring. Okay, it's going to ring right now. And once you pick up the phone, okay, I pick up the phone, immediately my things comes up that I'm talking to them. Now, if I was in another computer, it'll show me user 1 here, and it'll show me who I'm talking to. It'll show me how much time I'm talking to them, the length of time. It'll show me their phone number. It'll show me all this good information. Now, let's say that your user wants to transfer this call. And like I said, usually 99% of the time, this is the way you transfer calls. You grab the green area and you drag it to user number 2 and you let it go, and now immediately that call just got transferred to user 2, and you could use it. As you see, we're still connected. It shows you now that user 2 is talking to myself. As I was telling you earlier, now mine, user 1, is empty, and you see that user 2 is talking to this person, and it tells you how much time they've been, tells you the time, tells you the date, and it tells you everything that you need to know about that call. Now, let's say that you do not want, let's say this user calls, right? I'm going to transfer the call back to myself. Let's say I'm user 1. Same thing. I drag the call back. Now the call comes back to me. Okay? So let's say that this is the user calling for the first time, and they want to speak with user 2. And user 2 is on the phone, right? So he can't take the call. So what you do is, either one, you could do two things. User 2 can be placed on hold, and it's real simple. You grab the call and you drop it into the park area. Okay? So immediately, as you can tell, I'm going to put this phone on speakerphone so you can see. We're on hold. Okay? We're on hold because we're waiting for user 2. Now, let's say user 2 is finally off the phone. Okay? So user 1 can tell user 2 by either instant message or a quick call, or however you want to communicate. If they are next to you, whatever they are, you can say, hey, you have an important call that's parked on 701. As it can tell you there, that's the park number. So user 2 will come and make a new call, and he's going to hit 701, dial, and as you can tell, now we're connected. Okay? So basically what you do is, let's say that you don't want to talk to this person and you want to transfer to user 3. Same thing. Okay? You put it back on park. Okay? He goes back to listening to music, and user 3 can come, make a call, hit 701, dial, and now they're connected as well. Let me put it back on park. Okay, so the user is back on park. So that's how you transfer most of the calls. You put it on park and you tell them, hey, you have this call park here. The reason that you do that is because, let's say you got another call that's coming in for user 2 again. You could put it on park and it'll put park 702, 703, 704, 705. So you can have a ton of calls waiting for specific users if they're busy, if they're out to lunch, if they're not there. As you can tell, we're still on hold. We're just waiting for one of your users to call and to take the call. So that's how you do call park. Now, another useful feature that you can also do is, I'm gonna disconnect. Okay, I'm gonna hang up. As you can tell, the call is gone because it's no longer a parked. Okay, so let's say that you have another user that calls. Okay, an outside source. I'm gonna call from an outside source, another cell phone, so I can show you something else. One of the best things about this system. Okay, so I'm calling the system. Right now the phones are gonna ring. Okay, I'm gonna pick it up, and once I pick it up, okay, let's say that they want to speak to one of your sales rep, and that day your sales rep or your manager, or they want to speak to accounting in another office. This is how you can transfer to an outside office, let's say out of state, even out of the country. This is the way you could do it. Okay, so you have the call that came in here. Okay, let's say that you want to transfer to an outside cell phone as an example. Like I said, it could be an office, it could be a cell phone, it could be any outside cell phone or outside number. Same thing. Basically, you grab the call, drag and drop. There's a little cell phone that's there, as you could tell. You drop it there. Okay, immediately that call is going to be routed to the phone that I have set up for this. As you can tell, now my cell phone is ringing. So this could be your manager, this could be anybody else that's in your office. And let's not take the call for right now. Okay, we don't want to take the call. So that way, the outside source that called got transferred to your manager. It got transferred to another office, to a sales rep, anybody that's not within your office. That's how you would transfer their call to a cell phone. Very simple. I've set up a lot of users that are not computer literate, and every single user finds this extremely easy to use. So as you heard, got a voicemail because I did not leave a voice. Actually, I left a voicemail. So that's how you transfer that to a cell phone. Okay, I'm going to show you how easy to transfer to voicemail as well. It's going to be real simple. We're going to answer the phone. Okay, I'm going to put it on speakerphone. Okay, so I'm going to put the other phone on speakerphone so you can hear as well. Okay, so this phone right now is calling your phone, and they want to speak to one of your users in the system. Let's say they want to talk to user 1. Okay, actually, I'm sorry, user 2. Let's say they want to talk to user 2. User 2 is out to lunch. Tell him, you know what, he's unavailable. Let me transfer you to voicemail. Same thing as you transfer to the cell phone. Drag and drop to that little box right there. Okay, and you hear that?
202 is unavailable.
Okay, so that user now is being redirected to his voicemail. So now, when that user comes back in line, he's going to have a blinking light. It's going to show him that he has a voicemail. So I did not leave one, by the way, but if I left one, this little light there would start blinking red to tell him, hey, you have a voicemail. So just another great thing about this system is that you can control the incoming messages. As an example, I'm going to show you how I set up mine. Basically, we can call, right? And I'm going to put it on speaker so you can hear it.
Thank you for calling ABC Company.
So basically what it did is it greeted the caller with a pre-recorded message that I left thanking for calling ABC Company, and then the phone rang. You can have it to do the same thing. You can have somebody record your greeting for your company, thank you for calling your company, and the phones will ring. Or thank you for calling your company, and then say please wait for a representative to answer the phone. You can have them listen to music while the phone connects to whoever is going to pick up the phone. Or another great thing about the system is that you can have an automated attendant. As an example, the call would be thank you for calling ABC Company. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for technical support, press 3 for anything you want to say, right? And then once they press, let's say 2 for technical support, right? Let's say user 3 is your technical support, only user 3 would ring, okay? So you could have it set up that way. Let's say user 3 is out to lunch. Within 10 seconds, 5 seconds, however you want to set it up, then it can go back to user 2 and say, you know what, you can have it answer, or you can just have it go to voicemail. The automated attendant is an extremely useful part to help you take calls. Another thing that you can do is, for example, is you can have a call queue. Call queue allows the system to take calls and place them on hold automatically for you. Let me give you an example. I'm gonna call, okay? It's gonna say thank you for calling, and I'm not gonna answer the phone.
Thank you for calling ABC Company.
Okay, so the phones are ringing. We're not gonna answer them. Okay.
Thank you for calling. Somebody will be with you shortly.
Okay, as you can see, the phone picked up the. I'm sorry. As you can see, the system picked up the call for you. It told them that, please wait. Somebody's going to be with them shortly. So what the system is doing is it plays the caller on hold, plays music for them, and it keeps trying every single phone that's in your system. As soon as the first person that's available hangs up, the, the system will automatically know that line is available, and it'll shoot the callers on queue. It'll shoot it to the available extension of the caller. So the caller would just pick up the line and say thank you for holding, and you would help them from there. That's called a call queue. You can have as many calls come in as you queue, and it'll automatically put them one by one by one by one. You can set it where every 15 seconds, every 30 seconds, every minute, however long you want to set it up for. The call queue would tell them you're currently number 1, number 7, number 10 in line, however many call queues you may have at that time, right? And it'll keep trying. The system will keep working. It'll start shooting calls automatically wherever you want them to go. Let's say that you can set it after, let's say, a minute, right? Let's say after a minute, everybody's still on the phones, your client's still on hold. You can have it to shoot that call to another office, or you can have it set up, shoot that call to a cell phone, to your house, anywhere you want that call to go. you can set it up as at a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, however you want the call to hold. You can set it up where it can be rerouted to an outside source, or you can just leave them on hold, or you can leave them say after X amount of minutes it'll go to a voicemail, or you can have it keep on trying. Whatever you want the system to do, it'll do for you. To give you a quick cost of the system, we can work with a lot of different budgets depending on how many users you have, depending on how many phones you need. Basically, just to give you an idea on the service itself on a monthly basis, it's $55 a month for the service. What you get is unlimited incoming calls. You get 5,000 outgoing minutes, and you can have 5 different users, meaning 5 different employees making outgoing calls at the same time. That's 5 of them. If you need to have 6 concurrent calls, it's only $5 per user per month. So you just keep adding $5 if you have more users. It does change after you hit a certain number, and I forgot what it is. But for references, right now it's going to be 5 users, $55 a month for 5,000 outgoing minutes, and that's to the lower 48 states. I'm showing you a system with the Cisco phones as well. A system can be configured with any other type of phones. The 2 main phones that I like to install the system are Cisco and Polycom. Those are the 2 main ones that work extremely well with it. If you need to ask questions, you're more than welcome to email me. I'm going to put the email in the video. I'm going to put my phone number in the video so you can contact me. More than open to talk to you about pricing. I can set up any system anywhere as long as you have a internet connection, a high-speed internet connection. You have to have what's called a static IP address, which means your IP address never changes. That's very important. Any provider can give you that. It's going to cost you about maybe $5 to $10 a month more than what you're paying now. But just to give you an idea, one of the offices that I set up where we're paying close to $1,000 a month in traditional phone lines, now we've brought that bill down to close to $90 a month. So we went from $1,000 a month to $90 a month. So just to give you that, that's with 8 users, 8 concurrent calls. They make a ton of minutes going out, coming in. So it's extremely reliable. Of course, the only drawback to it is that if you lose internet connection or if you lose power, your system is not going to work. You're not going to be able to receive calls or make outgoing calls. So just wanted to give you a heads up. As long as you have reliable internet access, which most providers have nowadays, that should not be a problem. Feel free to email me, feel free to call me if you have questions. If you need support for already a system that you already have, you want to do any type of upgrades, I'm more than available for that as well. Thank you so much.